All right, everybody. So we've just completed the second sim. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. It looks like the Magic are still atop the Eastern Conference with Zion. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in second place, tied with the same record pretty much. Their point differential is a little worse, but they have LaMelo, Ayton. Then we have the Hawks in third with Garland, the Pistons in fourth with Murray and Booker, the Celtics in fifth. How? They don't really have any good players. Okay, they have Duren, I guess, and that's all you need. The Wizards are in sixth place with Halliburton and Randall. The Raptors are in seventh with Giannis, and then the Sixers have climbed to eighth with Dame and Jokic, followed by Bulls, Heat, Hornets, Knicks, Nets, Bucks, and Pacers. Out west, we have the Blazers in the one spot. They traded for Trae Young. Then in the two spot, we have the Lakers, who have a slightly better point differential, but two really close teams at the top of each conference. The Lakers have Lonzo and Cade. Then in the three spot, we have the Warriors with Ja and Brandon Miller. In the four seed, we have the Rockets with Harden, Jimmy, Chet, and Amen. Five spot, we have the Kings with Anthony Edwards, who's finally playing good in a 2K sim. Then we have Luka and Tatum and the Thunder in the sixth spot with barely a positive point differential. I'm surprised at that. Then the Jazz in the seventh spot, the Nuggets in the eighth spot with Wemby and Durant. Then we have Spurs, Mavs, Wolves, Pelicans, Sonics, Suns, and the Grizzlies are now the worst record in the league, but not the worst point differential, which is still the Pacers. Let's take a look at some of the league leaders. In points, it looks like it is Zion Williamson at 29.3, followed by Luka, Booker, Ball, Giannis, Edwards, Jokic, Tatum, and Brandon Miller, Hardy, Lillard. Wow, I'm surprised at Hardy. 23 points per game, that's crazy. Steph Curry has 23 to round out the top 10. Davis is still averaging the most rebounds, although he dropped below 15. Then we have Mobley, Wemby, Okongwu, Duren. For assists, we now have four players 10 or more at Morant, Garland, Giddey, and Ball, followed by Luka, Halliburton, Harden, Trae Young. So the Blazers have Trae Young and Josh Giddey getting a ton of assists. Steals, it's Brandon Miller and Alvarado tied for first. Blocks, it's Jaren Jackson Jr. and Kessler tied for first. Turnovers, it is still Moss leading the league. Fouls, Okongwu. Field goal percentage, Gafford, followed by Duren. All these high field goal percentage shooters really help teams out, I'll say that. Then three-point percentage, Corey Kispert remains above 50%. Monte Day barely below 50%. Kennard, Jokic dropped a little bit this sim. He was shooting above 50% as well. Then we have Grady Dick, Kevin Huerter, Clay Curry, Kobe White, Tyrese Maxey, and Jamal Murray at 11. Let's take a look now. I will show free agents briefly, just in case anyone's still looking to sign someone before the deadline. Not that many really impressive guys. I'd be surprised if someone didn't sign Primo. I mean, he wants what? Oh, 12 million, so maybe not. Basley wants 2. Boston wants 5. Lewis wants 5. McGowns wants 4. Fernando wants a minimum, and Richardson wants a minimum. So there's a couple of the top guys. Let's check contract extensions again and see. It looks like Lillard is willing to extend for the Sixers, as well as Bogdanovich. For the Bucks, Livingston and Dylan Brooks. Oh, sorry, I'll show how much money they want. So Bog wants a minimum, Lillard wants 36, Livingston wants 2, Brooks wants a minimum, no one for the Bulls, no one for the Cavs. Strus wants 3, Hachimura wants 5 for the Celtics. PJ Washington wants 4 for the Hawks. Powell wants a minimum, and Carter wants a minimum for the Heat. Porter Jr. wants 10, and Van Vliet wants 3.8. No one for the Jazz, no one for the Kings, no one for the Knicks. Herb Jones, 4.6 for the Lakers. Caruso wants a minimum from the Magic still. Poole wants 9.4, and Sexton still both willing to extend for the Nets. Kevin Durant currently says he'll retire. A lot of guys here for the Pacers. This team currently doesn't really have a GM though. For the Pelicans, Gobert, Nurkic, and Sissoko. For the Pistons, Wiggins, Fultz wants 25, Dort wants 3, and Little wants a minimum. Camara wants 1.2. I'm not going to pronounce his name, wants a minimum. Powell wants a minimum, and Donsumu wants a minimum for the Thunder. Curry is now willing to extend again for the Wolves. I'll actually just do that right now because I know he wanted to extend, but then Curry glitched. So Jackson Davis for the Wolves wants 1.9. And Micic for the Wizards. So that is extensions. Next thing I will show is draft picks. Sixers can't really trade any picks. I mean, they could trade their seconds, but Stippian rule prevents them from trading their firsts. Bucks have a couple of picks. Celtics have a decent amount. Sonics have a lot of picks here. The Grizzlies have a few. The Hawks have a good amount of picks. Heat have just all of their picks for the most part. Same with the Hornets, who looks like they haven't traded any of their picks. The Jazz have most of theirs. Kings have all of theirs. The Knicks have a lot of picks. Lakers, Magic, Mavs. Nets have a good amount here. Nuggets have a few, same with the Pacers. The Pelicans have decent amount. Pistons have all of their own. Raptors have most of theirs, same with the Rockets. Spurs have all of their own. The Suns have a good amount. Then Thunder, Wolves, Blazers, Warriors, and finally the Wizards, who have a couple extra picks. Now, let's get into the player stats for each team. Scroll over to 3-point percentage. So for the Sixers, Jokic is still their top 3-point shooter, and he's playing pretty well. I mean, his assists seem like they're down a little bit. Not sure why that is. Maybe his teammates are missing shots or something. Your two-time reigning champion Chicago Bulls here, who are currently, I think, in the play-in, surprisingly. So maybe they want to make a few moves to get back into the playoffs, because they still have SGA for a while, so no real reason to blow it up. The Sonics, who traded Bam, they might be looking to trade Fox as well and go into a full rebuild. Grizzlies, who are the worst team in the league. The Hawks, who are a top team out east right now. Then we have the Heat, who did really well this last free agency, and hopefully they can keep up that momentum. The Hornets here, and then the Jazz, who were the 4 seed, and then they slipped a little. I think they're still in the playoffs if I remember right. Anthony Edwards and the Kings. Then we have the Knicks here with Karl Marx, who is not receiving minutes for some reason. Seems like with Karl Marx on the team, everyone should be receiving the same amount of minutes. So questionable GMing there by Chimmy, missing a fine opportunity. Zion and the Magic, who are tied for the top spot out east. The Mavs, who just traded Leonard to the Sixers and got Paul George. The Nets here, who I believe are a playoff team. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. I don't know. Then we have Wemby and the Nuggets. Wemby's up to a 94. I bet he's going to be like a 96 next season. The Pacers, who need a GM. The Pelicans. Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, and the Pistons here are our top 4 team out east. Giannis and the Raptors, who are still in the playoffs despite the rest of this roster really not being that good. That just shows you how good Giannis is. Amen and the Rockets, top 4 team out west, I believe. The Spurs, who are currently in the play-in with Joel Embiid. Maybe Wabby will get aggressive and make a couple trades to bring that team up. Then we have the Suns, the Thunder, who traded for Jason Tatum to pair with Luka. I think the Thunder probably just need a better center, and then they'll be set. The Blazers, who acquired Trae Young and are currently the top team out west. That team is insanely good, mostly because of Josh Giddey, I think. Josh Giddey is the GOAT. And then finally, the Wizards with Halliburton, Randall, Jarrett Allen. I forget how that team is doing. I'm going to check. It's interesting. Oh yeah, they're a playoff team. That's good. Jarrett Allen. All right, let's check. Let's take a look at some team stats here. May as well really quick. So the Blazers currently have the most wins. The Pacers have the most losses. Blazers' highest winning percentage. Points per game is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Points allowed, so best defense is the Lakers. Worst defense is the Pacers. Point differential, the Magic are atop. Then the Pacers, Grizzlies, Suns are at the bottom. Blazers lead in field goals made, while Suns are the worst. Field goals attempted, it's the Rockets, while the Grizzlies are attempting the least, and the Blazers are shooting over 50%, along with the Pistons, Magic, and Cavs. And then these teams are barely shooting 40%. I'll sort by wins and scroll so people can see their team's stats here. And then I'll go over and sort a couple of these. 3-point percent looks like the Cavs are number 1. The Spurs are the worst, so they might need to make some changes there. And then I'll show who gets the highest percent of offensive and defensive rebounds. So the Rockets are one of the better offensive rebounding teams. The Grizzlies are the worst. And for defensive rebound, it's also the Rockets, whereas the Hornets are the worst. So I will go over to assists per game, sort it by assists, and scroll one more time just so you can see some more information about your teams here. I'm surprised the Blazers aren't number 1 in assists with Giddey and Trae Young, but they're second, which is fine. What else? I'll show the new upcoming free agents because some players have signed extensions. So currently it is Durant is the top unrestricted free agent, followed by Jimmy, then Trae Young and Ayton, who are both going to be unrestricteds. And then the next unrestricted, I think, is Bridges, Jaren Jackson Jr., and then who would it be? Simons, Clay, Jarrett Allen, Vucevic. Definitely still some really good unrestricted free agents. Keegan Murray might be unrestricted, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what you can look forward to in this free agent class. I think that is it for what I have to show in this video. The rookies will be released at some point, either tonight or in the morning, so that you can start your scouting. And we will have the trade deadline Thursday night, I believe. It's already in the events in the Discord. So you have all of that to look forward to. And we will continue the season. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.